Guys, what's up? And in today's video I have the Daurell Caverns dungeon, and it's pretty much just how to, get around in it like I did with my last video for the Fosio dungeon. Now, before I get into it, I just want to talk about some things, like, before you actually do this dungeon. Before you get in here, what you need full magic for fire, ice, and lightning, because there are two enemies in this dungeon, and their names are Custard and Dulce, and they do not take any damage when you physically attack them. They only take damage when you do magic, or if you want, they do take damage when you use the Ring of Lucy, but I tried using like the attack button with it and it didn't work, and I just had to keep countering them and it just took forever. That's why I said use magic. Also, this dungeon has, kind of like harder enemies. It is for level 72s. Just make sure you have the right weapons before you get in here, and just make sure that you're actually, stocked up on some items and all that stuff, because you probably will need them here. There are some tonberries here, and it can get a little bit challenging, especially if you're not paying attention. So just make sure that before you get onto this dungeon, you are on your A game, and because this dungeon is longer than the other ones, and it is a higher level. So now I'm going to talk about the exact segments and the branching paths that you need to get through in order to get to the final boss. So the first segment in this dungeon is a segment A. It is a short one, and then right after segment A you will go through a branching path, and you will have to go through the left one. Then the next after this is another short segment A, and then after this is segment C, and this segment C is a little bit longer, so you just have to prepare yourself. And after you get through segment C, there will be a campsite, and as always, I recommend camping in the dungeons because it can get hard and you do not want to use all of your items at once. I'd rather you save them for the final boss. And after the camp, there will be another branching path, and you will have to take the middle one. Then after this, there will be a short segment B, and then after that, segment C. Both of them are short. And then after segment C, you will be going to another branching path, and you will have to take the right. And the right will be a little bit longer when you take it than the other branching paths. After this, you will be at another campsite. I recommend camping as always. After you're done camping, there will be a segment A. It is short. There's a short segment B. There's another short segment B. And then there's a long segment C. And the segment C will have the tomberries. It will have the enemies that are resistant to physical fighting. You need the magic, but they are located all throughout the dungeon, but they're more prevalent here in the last segment. Save your segments and you got through all of the branching paths, you will then be at the final boss of the Daurell Caverns. And this final boss right here, she's not that hard. The only thing is that she's just more annoying because she can turn your allies into the frogs. So just make sure that you have a lot of the Maiden's Kisses before you get into this fight. And she does take decent damage from physical hits, so just make sure you keep physically attacking her. She is pretty weak to magic too, but I would just recommend physically attacking her because it is quicker, and the only annoying thing about her is just that, like I said, she can turn your friends into frogs, and it just prolongs the fight because when they're turned into frogs, it just makes the fight even longer than it should be. So just make sure that you have those Maiden's Kisses. That's pretty much all I have for tips while versing her. Also, just make sure you have items like Phoenix Downs too, because, your teammates will get down and it's just bound to happen. But right here, as you can see, this is me completing the dungeon and, defeating the final boss. And when you defeat the final boss, you get the precision pole lance. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, subscribe, a comment, and really help out the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.